speak to?
He actually is not here. He had to go take care of something. Is there a message I can take, or
I want to complain about one of your thugs that I ran into. So I don't know if
one
you,
of our? I'm sorry, one of our what?
one of your thugs. I got pulled over for flipping a cop off.
Okay, I mean, how? So you got pulled over in the fifth district?
I was pulled over at 95th and Stony Island, and the cop said he was out of the 5th district, which I don't know if that's 5th district or not.
Okay, did he state? I know what you're telling me. Did he state the reason why he pulled you over?
He initially said because I flipped him off, and then I asked him what his problem was because he was swerving lanes and changing with no signal, and I
Mm-hmm.
flipped him off when he did that when he went by me. So then
Mm-hmm.
after we went through the rigmarole, he goes, "I want your driver's license," and I initially refused, and then he tried to say I swerved lanes, which caused him to swerve lanes, but he had no intention on pulling me over until I flipped him off, and I have it on video. Um,
Okay, did you get a? Were you issued a traffic
I
citation?
was not, but the point is
Okay.
flipping an officer off is free speech. The Supreme Court has deemed that. So him pulling me
How do you
over.
know? How do you? I'm just curious. How do you know that was? Did he state the reason why he pulled you over was because you flipped him off?
Initially, he said that, and then he goes, and then I said, "Well, what's your problem? Why are you driving recklessly and swerving lanes with no turn signal?" And then he was like, "Oh, because you swerved lanes," which I didn't. I have a dash cam in my video, and I recorded everything. That's not true.
Okay.
But he obviously had to have a reason to say he stopped me because a cop should know that flipping a cop off has been ruled freedom of speech by the Supreme Court. That's not a reason to stop somebody.
Okay. So look, I can tell you this, sir. All right. All our stops are recorded on camera. Every officer has a body camera. Okay, and every car has a dash camera. All right. So as soon as the stop begins, I can't even control it. It's once the lights go on, the dash cam
He never
automatically acts.
he never activated his lights.
Okay, and that's fine because that's why we have two forms of quality control. We have a body worn camera as well, which are reviewed by our supervisors daily.
Okay. So when does the body cam activate? Do they have to activate it or
It's always it's constantly in buffer mode. Okay, the supervisor has access to all those buffer logs, and then they can review every officer's body worn camera.
so I should be able to file a public records request and because he said he didn't activate it till after he got out of the vehicle, so I should be able to get the public records request where him and the other guy were talking in the car then because it should be buffering essentially and record their conversation.
You can attempt to file for that request. Yes.
Right, but I'm saying that information will be there, so he can't say, "Oh, I pulled him over for swerving." If he says in the car, "Hey, we're gonna pull this guy over because he flipped us off," then it's there. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yes. But I
And
mean, in terms of whether or not you can get access to that, that's beyond my control.
no, I understand that it's through the Freedom of Information request, but my whole complaint on the issue is if he's like I told him, if I was doing 60 coming off the ramp from 94 down to Stony Island where it's like 55 right before it slows down. And
Hmm.
he goes by me doing at least 70, if not faster, changing lanes with no turn signal. And then after the traffic stop, he turned on the 95th with no turn signal. And if
Hmm.
I were driving like that, he would have pulled me over and wrote me a ticket, or another cop would write me a ticket.
Well,
So,
and that's why you do have the option to try to go the course that you're going. So.
right, and that's why I'm filing the complaint. Is number one, he pulled me over for a civil rights issue. Flipping him off is not a reason to pull me over, and that's a clear violation of my civil rights. And
Hmm.
number two is if he's driving like that, what gives him special powers to do that? Just because he has a badge and a gun doesn't mean he can drive 75 mile an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone and not use his turn signal. There's no excuse for that. He wasn't running lights and sirens to a call. So, in my
And
opinion,
I just, I wasn't present at the stop, sir. So, I basically all the information, that I can offer for your options, you have access to. Okay.
I mean, is there an excuse to run that fast if you don't have lights and sirens on? As far as tracking speed and location?
That's OEMC. I wouldn't know. So,
Okay. I didn't know if you knew
okay.
that or not. I know you know about.
So,
Beautiful. Well, I'll come in and
okay.
find out because somebody will know. So I will come in and file a complaint and the FOIA request, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thanks. Not much help, as you see. I didn't get a ticket, Sue. I was just harassed. I flipped the cop off essentially, and he pulled me over. They went by me doing like 70, 75, swerving lanes, no turn signal. So I flipped them off. They pulled over on the side of the road. I stopped behind them. And then they wanted my ID because I flipped them off. And then they tried to say they had to swerve to miss me. But they had no intention on pulling me over until I flipped them off. And he said that, but he said it before I got my video rolling. So it's all good. We'll go down to the 11th district, or the 5th district on 111th, and we'll file a complaint. So here's beautiful Chicago, guys. 67th and Jeffrey.